All right, let's dive into it, shall we? Hey, don't make fun of Tolsimir. Tolsimir paired with Huntmaster, the fellas flipping back and forth, making some stuff, generates lots of extra fighty wolves that gain a bunch of life. Yeah, and I think Jeskai is super good right now, Dimir Spy. I think a large part of what holds this deck up or makes it somewhat competitive in a format where Burn is one of the better and more popular decks is that 4 Lightning Helix goes a long way. Like, this mana base actually isn't that painful because you're fetching a lot of basics anyways because of Astrolabe, and then Astrolabe makes your mana hurt less. So between having your mana hurt a little bit less than a lot of decks in the format and having Helix and like Kaya's Guile and Night of Autumn, I bet this deck actually does not have that bad of a burn matchup. Let's dive on into a league here and see if we can put that theory to the test. Hey, Maestro. Good games to you. Yeah, you were the Eldrazi player, right? We stole game 1 a little bit, if I recall correctly. This seems fine. So we have Astrolabe off of Forest, and this can go get... Is there Steam Vents in my deck? I'm going to be asking myself a lot what dual lands this deck plays. Let's pull them out, actually, just so I have quick reference. Does not look like we have a Steam Vents. So probably fetch Stomping Ground. Actually, I guess I can fetch Basic Mountain, right? God, Astrolabe is wild. So, and this is like a good example of like how this mana base is functional on the back of this card. So this card, assume I don't draw this island. This card, I fetch Mountain. This card filters this into white for this, and it filters the red into blue for this. Just like everything works because this is in play. Something that we've talked about a little bit in the past is that, or on recent streams, is that I really think that this card is like a, it's an attune with the Aether level mistake. It's one of those cards where like the ultimate power level of what it's doing probably isn't too high, but when you think about the context of everything that it does, it's probably too good. If that makes sense. I'm just gonna go ahead and kill this now while they can't, while they're less likely to be able to prowess it. You don't want to like do it on their turn in response to a prowess trigger and then like have them cast like Lava Dart in response and save it. They have to have like mutagenic growth or like double gut shot here. How good's the mono black check land? All those lands are great. Nice, Atheist. And Sags, as a boring adult, it's really not that different. Extra dollar dues basically just turn into extra mortgage payments. I don't lead a particularly exciting or lavish lifestyle. Yeah, I don't really buy that though. I don't buy that it's a heavy cost, because honestly, I think a lot of people for a long time haven't been playing enough basics in their deck, and Astrolabe helps negate one of the biggest downsides of playing basics, which is you don't have proper fixing because you have basics instead of shocks. So like Astrolabe means you deal less damage to yourself, and your mana is just as good, and your deck is automatically insulated against effects like Path to Exile, Assassin Trophy, and Field of Ruin, where it otherwise might not be. This card has a lot of upside. Nope. Can't do it, Nivik. They lit up the stage and they hit Crash Through and Bedlam Raveler. Seems decent for us. I guess they can Crash Through here and then maybe Bedlam happens next turn. This feels like one of those cards where it's just like tricked people into making correct decisions that they should have been making already. Morning, Pixel. We've got 3 instant sorceries in here so far, so this thing's still a little bit off from casting. I'm gonna go ahead and just play this now, in case we can trip into like a Wrenn and Six or another 2-drop. Thanks, unit. Look at that. Look at that. Just like we drew it up, chat. Well, we've got it, but we don't have anything to do at the moment, but we've got a bunch of stuff in the meantime. A bunch of lands. So this is the point of the game where, like, we haven't died, and we're just, like, waiting on a Bring to Light or a Niv here. All I'm gonna say is to everybody out there is, when you're thinking about this new standard format, if you have early tournaments you want to do well in, I want you to look at the metagame of the tournament I played in yesterday, and then consider the fact that 3 of the top 4 decks in that tournament were aggro decks, and look at how few people registered aggro decks in yesterday's tournament. It did not happen by accident that 3 of the top 4 decks in yesterday's event were aggro decks, and that we played an aggro mirror in the finals. If you use the gift sub button, Legit Reaper, you can just gift a random one to a non-sub who's watching. As a heads up. Steric, thank you for the entire year of support. Let's get you a sword to go with that shield. Oh, they added the mod button back to the overlay. God bless. I didn't even notice that. It used to, for a little while, I could just click 2 buttons to mod people, and then they made it so I had to type something in chat. It was no good. So you're saying people who picked aggro decks were better magicians? I mean, a big part of Magic tournament success is the deck selection process. So yeah, I would definitely make the argument that people that chose to play aggro decks were definitely playing to win more than people who didn't choose aggro decks. Nah, I think 2 Bantus is fine. In fact, I was boarding Bantu out a lot. Play another Shock or another Footlight Fiend, or like get cheeky and play a Judy. Actually, oh, put a 3rd Tibalt in the main deck. Tibalt was great all day. Man, if we get a Retrace emblem, can they ever beat Lightning Helix with Retrace? Hopefully they tap out. Oh, geez. That's terrible. I was gonna say, hopefully they tap out so we could Helix plus Wrenn this, but they actually have a Lava Dart in here. Descoops! Thanks for the $25 tip. I appreciate that. I assume that's added deck to the queue. Let's take a peekaboo here. Here's the Saheeli Altar deck. Sounds good. For my Modern fans out there, my tentative schedule for next week is up. I am going to be taking Monday off next week. And then Tuesday and Wednesday, I'm planning to do all modern. And then Thursday through Saturday will be all new standard on Arena. And of course, obviously, all this week, we're going to continue to do, two decks a day. Thanks, Sunshine. Our hand is real bad. That being said, we're just going to keep making land drops here. And hopefully, eventually, we're going to draw a Niv. Maybe before we die. Does Wrenn create the illusion of flooding? To a degree. I mean, Wrenn's drawn us the same land 3 times, so I think we're definitely still kind of flooded even without Wrenn, right? Like, if we're down 2 lands here, we'd have 1. If we're down 3 lands, we'd be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 lands. A better way to look at it, too, is, like, we've had 4, 5... like 5 actual spells, and like this is like an actual spell, right? Yeah, I went 4-1 in the Swiss. We lost a really close set to Jeskai Control. Actually, it's kind of funny. The set we lost to Jeskai Control is probably one of the better sets we had yesterday. Are we dead? It feels like we might be dead. 16. This is 8 at the moment. Yeah, that card's absurd, Orinel. I think that's lethal. So this is 15, 14, 13, 10. Yeah, we're actually just dead here. Because they have 2 lava darts in the bin. Right, because each lava dart is 3 more. Yeah. Demox doling out a pile of sub-gifties. Happy Wednesday. Welcome to our newest members of Hooglandia. Let me know if there's a particular deck you'd like to bump up, or there's something you'd like to add. You can also let me know a little bit later if there's something you'd like to add once the full set's spoiled. I'd like to thank you for your community and teaching me Magic. I've only been a part of Magic since Arena last year, and through watching your stream, I was able to join a social group of Magic players. I actually feel like it brings something to the table. Awesome, Sunshine. All right, so all of these seem reasonable, potentially. Unmoored Ego's slow. K-Command's probably slow. I think I actually cut the Wrenn and Sixes here because it just doesn't block meaningfully. This exile stuff. Teferi Time Raveler's probably not very good. This seems fine. Let's do this. Hey, thanks for sticking through to the end, Ola. The long run. Picked up a bunch of followers yesterday too, which was sweet. There is a Kess in the sideboard, which is hot. You've got some people using the giveaway command there. One of the F2K sponsors, GOG, who does DRM free games, gave us some game codes to give away. So you'll need to be on Twitter to enter that. You don't need to be following me, but you need to retweet the tweet and then respond with some game titles you would like to win from the link there. Obviously, you can and should follow me too, but it's not a requirement. The chat, it was the fastest the chat's gone in a long while. I think I'm keeping this. I don't know. I feel like we're just, maybe I'm not supposed to keep this. We're just gonna like draw a bunch of, we're just gonna draw a bunch of 4 and 5 drops and die. Like, I've got this to cantrip and fix our, like, our mana's good and not painful. I've got a trophy, I've got a Huntmaster. And my average, for people wondering, I cut out all the downtime and uploaded things to YouTube from yesterday. The average match time from yesterday's tournament was about 16 minutes. For a fun metric. Did we lose a game in the top 8? I don't think we did, right? No, we definitely 2-0'd our way all the way through. I think we lost 2 games on the day. No, that's not true. Maybe it was 4 games? Because we lost one match 2-1. I think we 2-1 2 others. I don't know. We ran really well. Anyone who wins any tournament, generally speaking, had to run well to do so. Ding, ding, ding. Let's grab, it actually doesn't really matter what I grab here because our mana's perfect because we have an Astrolabe. It's gonna go ahead and 1 for 1 this year. How do you think green-white tokens would have fared? I think it would have been a really bad choice. The green-white tokens deck was really bad against all the Golos decks. It probably wouldn't have been good against the ramp decks either, honestly. Yeah, Pelly, and honestly, something I think a lot of newer players don't consider is that the closer in skill level players are when playing Magic. Neoshell brand for the sub sounds good to Mox. As a heads up to Mox, that Neoshell brand list is not going to get played until we get new cards, just once upon a time in it. So it will get bumped up towards the top to be at the top of the queue once we have new cards, but it won't get played till next week. So if you'd like to bump something else, you can, but that one will be at the top of the modern queue for once we get the new set. Garrick, Predator of Scrubs, thanks to 11 months. I appreciate that. Welcome. I am not playing in the fandom tournament. The fandom tournament starts a bit later. And the fandom tournament starts a bit later. The pricing is worse. And they get annoyed when you drop early. So the last time I played one of those, I dropped at 0-2 or 1-3 or something like that, and they were not happy. So rather than try and ask for an invite back, we just pass on that one. It's later than I like to stream these days anyways. Huntmaster. I actually want to play a couple of this card in the Saheeli deck, I think. I shink. I have no idea, Charles Kyle. There's one thing, if there's one thing I've learned, it's just like, there's a lot of things in this industry that don't make a lot of sense to me. I have no idea why they care, but I do know they do care, and that's why I don't do it. My mana is awkward here, and I can't play both of these because of it, right? Kind of sucks. That's unfortunate. Yeah, unlike the Rivals tournament, so the Rivals tournament had a pretty big prize pool yesterday, so like even the people that won no games of Magic yesterday got $100 for playing it through. Whereas like the Fandom tournament, because it's smaller prize pool and they stack it so top heavy, like I think the Fandom like 1,600 of the $4,000 is to first or something like that. You don't get anything if you don't top 8. So like expecting people to stick around who aren't getting anything is very silly. In my opinion. Thanks, Desi. This deck is missing an Obsidat. Something like that. There was a Modern tournament I wanted to play. I wanted to win. What would I play? I would play board games instead. I think playing Modern with the goal, with your only goal being winning is silly. It probably extends to Magic in general, but definitely Modern. Dice Factory, got it. The two archetypes I enjoy the most that feel somewhat competitive right now are Jeskai Tempo and the 4-color Saheeli Cat deck. That's a Shrine of Burning Rage. Yep. If you wanted to play Modern and wanted to lose, what deck should you play? That list is so long. I can't even quantify it with a response. There's so many decks you can lose with in this format. I don't know if this deck is good, but it definitely feels like it provides an authentic Hoagland Modern experience, and that we're getting to get beat down with uncastable 5-drops in our hand. Watching tonight, there will be permanent Brawl playlists on Arena. What do you mean by playlist? So Brawl is going to be a permanent fixture on Arena come fall. Do you mean like permanent pre-built decks? Is that what you're referring to? Because I don't think they're going to have permanently pre-built decks. So Shrine of Burning Rage, for those not familiar, this is an old standard staple, so I guess I should highlight it. At the beginning of your upkeep, whenever you cast a red spell, put a charge counter on this card. Pay 3 and sacrifice it. It deals damage equal to the number of charge counters on it to target any target. Fun fact. I'm pretty sure this card is largely responsible for the current trigger rules that are in competitive Magic. Because when this card was standard legal, the trigger rules were you were obligated to remind your opponent of their triggers when they missed them if they didn't have May in it, which led to a ton of feel bad moments where players who were just dead to rights to this card had to constantly remind their mono red opponent, your card triggers, get a counter, your card's supposed to trigger, get a counter, put another counter on the card I can't beat, just like mono feel bads. Are you worried that your brand as a pro quarterfinalist is damaged and you might lose subs? Well, you just gave me an extra sub there, Beetle, so I think we'll be okay. Will I be able to play Brawl whenever I want? Yeah, there will always be a Brawl queue starting in the fall, from my understanding. So in competitive comp REL, so this is not FNM, at competitive REL and professional REL, you are not obligated to remind your opponents that their mandatory triggers happen. So if you're, for example, even though this card does not say May, you are not obligated to tell your opponent that they need to put a counter on this. So this is putting us to 12, and then this is at 6. Yikes. Oh, yes, Ghost Quarter. What a completely reasonable land. So do I cast Niv-Mizzet Reborn, or do I plan to Assassin's Trophy this? I think I'm supposed to just cast Niv-Mizzet here. I think I'm supposed to do this, because I still can't double spell, right? All right. Draw 6, go. Please don't kill me. After edits, we had like two hours and 15 minutes worth of games. My average match time yesterday was 16 minutes. I assume we're going to see them cycle Sunbake Canyon. If we get to untap here, we're going to gain 7. So that's a big deal. It's a big if though, right? But like if we get another turn, we're a favorite to win for sure. Animane, thank you for the 9 months. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me around. I'm really surprised they didn't cast this last turn and get the extra prowess trigger. I guess they were worried about Ice-Fang Coatl. So this is up to 7. So if they draw a deal 3, we're dead. We're dead to a deal 1 too, right? We're dead to gut shot. Survey says. Kill me! They drew a mountain. They drew a mountain, chat. We did it. We did it. We did it. Hooray! Oh, we're halfway there. Oh, living on a prayer. Take my hand. We'll make it, I swear. Do 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 do. Oh yeah, we'd still technically be dead to gut shot, huh? Wonder how many of those are in their deck. All right, hold on. It sounds like my child's TV show is turned off. BRB. One with nothing. Thanks for the 7 months. I appreciate that. Welcome back. So, normally, my kindergartner leaves for... for school at, leaves for school by now, by 7. He has a late start today, though. So just making sure they were all awake and get ready to go. I think I trophy this in response to this trigger, right? Thanks, Squishy. So they're going to drop me to 6. But then hopefully Helix plus Veto here means that we're going to be A-okay. I don't think they know about the Helix. Just do that now so you don't, like, accidentally get got next turn. Peak Magic Online is your mono red opponent using 9 more minutes off the clock than you. I'm happy with how we sideboarded. Let's run it back. That was the easy game. Now we have to try and win a game on the draw. Won the easy game. Thanks, Castro. We talked about Lightning Helix having a strong back. In fact, the 5-color Niv list that someone sent me, the one change I made was I put a 4th Lightning Helix in. It was just like, this card, Lightning Helix is gonna need to have a strong back. Please carry me. How does it feel to be the bride and not the bridesmaid? It feels like, and I'm not complaining because I liked the prize structure from yesterday. I actually liked it better. But it's kind of ironic in a way that I find that when I finally win a Magic tournament, it's like the first tournament in the history of Magic where the prize difference between first and second is not astronomically different. And for context, in most Magic tournaments, the difference between first and second is like 100%. Like normally, first place prize is double the second place prize. For yesterday's tournament, that was not the case. And in general, I think Magic tournaments are too top heavy and that's silly. But it's kind of funny that I finally managed to win a tournament and it's one where that's not the case. I am not qualified for any Mythic Championships. I did win the Rivals tournament. Hashtag sometimes lucky. Yeah, if you watch round 4, that was our only loss in the tournament on the day. We won all the other matches. So I want to get Stomping Ground with this. And then we'll get Plains with this and Helix this Fiend. Is Lightning Helix one of the best cards in Modern right now? I think that's safe to say yes. I think Helix is a very good card. I don't think it's happenstance that, like, both the decks that I really like in Modern right now play a bunch of Helixes, right? Like the Saheeli deck, the 4-color Saheeli deck, and the Jessica deck. Hey, thanks for the Prime, Yaga. I appreciate it. I think I made it. I mean, I've definitely ran well to Mox, but I think I also made a good decision by registering an aggressive deck. For people that weren't here earlier, something I was talking about, if you look at the decks that people brought to that tournament yesterday, and actually the deck lists are still here. Look at these deck lists people registered. Look at how few aggro decks got registered. And then consider the fact that the top 4 was 3 aggro decks. It wasn't by accident that this tournament that was effectively a week 1 tournament, like in a new format, like had 4 aggro deck or 3 aggro decks in the top 4. Yeah, I think if anybody had shown up with just the stock mono red deck, they would have done really well. Yeah, that's true, Detroit. I think Helix has always been great in Modern. Because I also think, I think Helix has always been great in Modern for the reason that we talk about Burn is frequently great in Modern, right? Something I've talked about with some consistency. Alright, so let's play this as a gain 4. It's like a gain 5 in a way, because the Lava Dart's going to kill it. Dorian Costly, thank you for the 9 months of support. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me around. You're having a good one. Put us down to 1 card in hand. Yeah, our opponent's taken over 10 more minutes off the clock than we have. Yeah, they have 4.5 minutes left. They've been playing incredibly slowly. This is our first match with this deck, and we've been playing for 40 minutes already. Magic. Man, this is what I said, like, the round timer is too long on Arena, because, like, the round timer on Moto is 25 minutes, and the application is so much slower. Would I make any changes to Modern, or do you like where the format is at? Yeah, I'd make a bunch of changes. I'd ban Mox Opal, Simeon Spirit Guide, and Ancient Stirrings to start, and then I'd probably unban some stuff as well. I think a lot of the time that people are down on time on Magic Online is in large part due to the fact that they're just like doing something else while playing. Do you think they'll ever cut down the timer on Arena? I figure that's one of the things they wouldn't touch. I think so. Here's the thing. So I can speculate that the timer's too long on Arena, but Wizard doesn't have to speculate, right? Like, Wizards can look at their, hundreds of thousands or tens of millions of matches that they have played, and they can know with certainty that 90 or 95% of matches finish before the timer hits a certain threshold. And if, let's say, what would be a good metric in my mind? I think if 10% or more matches use, let's say, more than 25 minutes, then I would probably leave the timers at 30. But in my opinion, if 20 or 25 minutes would cover 95+% of matches, they should then reduce the amount of time you have for Arena. It should be a data-driven decision, like most things. Hey, you chick. Thank you for the brand new tier 1 sub. I appreciate you taking advantage of that September half off. Welcome to Hoaglandia. Thanks, gaming. All right, so buttons on my underwear. So I know they don't have a deal 3, because otherwise they would have killed us, right? So now I have to, like, ask myself, what's the best play here? I think it's probably Bring to Light for Tolsimir, huh? I feel like that's the play. Well, so if I bring to light for Tolsimir, it means I don't die to a burn spell off the top next turn, right? So like Verdict's kind of appealing, but I kind of want to stabilize the board and not die to a burn spell. So like if I do this, the Tolsimir Wolf gets to eat Soulscar Mage. So like my hand is so good right now, I think I want to just cut their outs basically, right? Hey, thank you for the very generous tier 2, Chalky. I can bump Pact SI, thank you. I appreciate that. Hey, speaking of generous tier 2, Trenton Baker, thanks for the 14 months of support. I appreciate that. Welcome. Thanks for keeping me around. All right, make the legal blocks. Do y'all want to see a neat trick? Do y'all want to see a neat trick? Hold on, wait for it. Wait for it. Wait for it. Triggers. Huntmaster and Tolsimir, baby. Gain 5. Gain 5. Fight the Soulscar Mage. Papi! Papi! Is this what doing it looks like? I'm not 100% sure what it is, but I'm pretty sure we're doing it. It just put up some more results and people gave me money to play it, so I played it. Naya Wolves, yep. Oh gosh. We flipped the thing and I can cast 2 spells. We flipped the thing and I can cast 2 spells. No, come back. I want to gain 5 more. Come back, opponent. I want to gain 5 more. What did fun ever do to you, opponent? What made you the enemy of fun? What did fun ever do to you? Yeah, like I waited 23 and a half minutes for you to take game actions. You can't let me flip my Huntmaster back over and have some fun? It's just rude. Alright, I mean, like, this hand casts Lightning Helix and it has all the lands to cast Niv, right? This fetches Overgrown Tomb. Poofed! If you see the 5-color Bring to Light Saheeli deck, probably at some point. There's a lot of variations of this archetype floating around. A lot. I think I'm holding on to the Helix to kill a Lord for next turn. Super rewarded. Force of Negation. I really hate this card and Force of Will. These cards are good against fair decks way more often than they're good against unfair decks in just a really frustrating way. It's very, very bleh. Thanks, Beansy. I think we're just dead here, right? guess we're at 20. The problem is that if I put Niv into play, I can't block. I guess they're only attacking for 9, though, unblockable. So this is... I think I want a green source here, so I can go red, green, black, white, blue. And yeah, I'm gonna pour one out for Enya there. On the call on the strategically draw the pillar. There's one pillar in this deck, by the way. One singleton pillar. Just for reference. Uno pillar. What is all a professional needs? Ain't that the truth? The called shots from on high. We do have a verdict in the main. However, 2 of their threats currently are Mutavaults, like that's less appealing. Do we play around Force of Will? I can afford to play around Force of Will, right? I feel like I'm supposed to play around Force. I feel like I'm supposed to play around Force. Yeah, I should probably Dreadbore first. Do I play the island out? Do I play the island out? I think I'm supposed to. I've already killed 3 of their island walkers, right? I'm gonna play the island out. Oh, you're right. We can play Misty and decide later, can't we? Yeah, that's the line. I have two basic islands. Oh yeah, they exiled a 4th one to this too. I definitely should have played the Misty. Playing Misty was the line. 10 out of 10. Is it crazy to loot here? Looting is basically like drawing 2, right? Because my hand kind of sucks. You love to see it, chat. You love to see it. Man, if you would have told me Tolsimir was going to be my most wished for card today, I'd have called you a liar. I'd have called you a liar. This deck is gas when it's not dying. Clarion. Guile seems fine. Knight of Autumn's probably okay for destroying, Knight of Autumn's probably good for destroying Spreading Seas, actually. Surprise, decks are good when they're not bad. I know, hot take by Jeff Hoagland. Decks are good when they're not bad. Strong opinion. Thanks, Packers. Nah, I think we're winning on that board state with the Tolsimir, the Kaya. I just want to gain a little bit of life so I don't accidentally get punked out. Tolsimir plus Niv is closing the game plenty quickly, Puffed. So this is Stomping Ground bird. No, it's Temple Garden bird, right? Yeah, Temple Garden lets me Helix and Kaya's. All right, we're gonna have a serious conversation about the person that put 2 Ghost Quarters in my 5-color deck. We are. Oh no! Oh no! Oh no! Whew. Whew. I'm glad this is no Justice stream. Because if there was accountability for greedy mana bases, that would just be the Stone Cold Bratwurst. So this opens me up to Spell Pierce by waiting for their turn, but if I Helix on my turn, I expose myself to Force of Negation for free. So it's like 6 in one hand, half dozen in the other. Maybe I'm just supposed to take the hit and wait and see if they play something else. You should be a politician because you're immune to accountability. All right, I'm going to take the hit this time around. That's pretty punishing. Oh, wait. Is it? It's not actually, right? Because this gives me blue, so now I can Izzet Charm their thing. Yeah, we can Izzet Charm their thing. Well, I try to qualify for the Players Tour. I mean, I've made an effort to play some of the qualifying events on Magic Online, and I play the qualifying weekends on Arena when I can. But I don't like really go out of my way. But if I have a deck I like and there's an event on a day I can play it, I generally play it. Hey, dismembering my bird? Yeah, pay 5, dismember my bird. Deal. Whew! Whew! Really ties the room together, that Astrolabe. Bubjing, thanks for the 18 months of support. I appreciate that. Welcome. Thanks for keeping me around. This card is completely reasonable. Completely reasonable Magic the Gathering card. Jeff played Magic for fun. I played a MCQ with the Saheeli deck for fun. Ghost Quarter. But why? Oh, you know what? I wonder if I'm supposed to Ghost Quarter myself in response to that? To deny them the card draw? Yeah, I think that's what I was supposed to do. Yeah, because I'm going to Ghost Quarter myself I'm going to Ghost Quarter myself anyways. Yeah, I should have Ghost Quartered my swamp in response to their thing to deny them the cantrip. It's probably fine. Like we have this card, so like it's probably not a big deal. I'm like Helix and Kaya's Guile in my hand here still. Casual draw 6. No big. No big. I'll draw these 6. Are we cool with that? We cool? Alright, excellent. I'll discard my Supreme Verdict against your creature deck. Go. Good luck, Godspeed. For people asking, is this deck real? This archetype has put up a bunch of finishes at various tournaments. All right, what are we doing here? How do we want to? Oh, I could have spell pierced. Should have spell piercing was the line. What do I do now that I'm an idiot? Now that I've done a stupid... And okay, we just gotta not die. Our hand's loaded. They've got one card in their hand. We just gotta not die, and we'll win the long game. It does. It does. We had to reveal our great shame by killing their lord. Yeah, we should be at 9. With better play, we'd be at 9. Oh yeah, they knew about it. Deal. They already knew we had shame. God bless. God bless us, everyone. Man, when this card's down tick is a removal spell, it's incredibly unfair. Two-turn clock, you go. We can win with commander damage. Yeah, exactly. So one of the things we frequently talk about when we're talking about decks being good or bad, and like obviously Merfolk's not like a tier 1 deck, so like we want to play against some other things too, but like I made a number of decisions this game that were definitely suboptimal. And my deck, the power level of it, was able to drag me kicking and screaming across the finish line. And that's what you look for in decks that are actually good. Like, a good deck played optimally is going to be super powerful. But, like, A deck that's genuinely good, especially against other decks that aren't tier 1, is going to let you win in spite of yourself when you make some suboptimal decisions. And our deck definitely allowed us to win there in spite of ourselves. All right, what do we think, chat? I'm gonna let the greed flow through me. I'm gonna let the greed flow through me. Just do it. Listen, anybody who's watched this stream before knew what button we were clicking with this hand, okay? We didn't register Birds of Paradise to mulligan the hand that cast it on turn 1. Bird is technically led, kinda. Don't do it. Have a heart. Spare the bird. Spare the bird. Oh no. Oh no. My poor little birdie, chat. Land. We've been caught with our hand in the cookie jar, chat. We've been caught with our hand in the cookie jar. What do I think about Temur Scape Shift? I think it's a mediocre version of Red-Green Scape Shift. We actually played a Temur Scape Shift deck somewhat recently. You can find the video of it on my website and my YouTube channel under the Modern section. This is the Snap Bolt coming up next, right? That's where we're about to be heading towards. The old Snap Bolt. Wow. The old flavor fail on the Fatal Push the Bird. So they're playing 4-color mush. It's the part where they cast Liliana the Last Hope and plus on our bird. Kolaghan's command. We're gonna bid the Tolsimir. Seems like we're far off of casting that one. Thanks, dumping truck. All right, I concede. Why would I concede? This game's not anywhere near over. Like, is my opponent clocking me? They also missed a bunch of land drops, like. I might even make the argument that we're currently ahead. Concede for the memes? Maybe. What if we just won the game instead? Would that be cool? Could we just win the game instead? Sweet. Welcome to the greed, baby. Welcome to the greed now. Do 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 do. Area denied. Rude. Rude. All right, chat. I'm coming around on the idea that Modern Horizons might have just been a mistake. I feel like I'm coming around on that suggestion. I'm gonna cash Teferi in as just an extra draw here. Oh, tap super wrong. Never it banned looting. That's true. That's true. If Horizons pushed them into finally banning looting, it was a success based on that metric alone. I agree with that. Faithless. Faithless looting needed to go. Oh, I could bounce our lab, because I'm dumb and I haven't played this deck. The reason why I didn't make the good play is because I missed it. The much better play there is leave a snowman up and bounce our Astrolabe. Significantly better by basically every metric. Hey, Schwingy, thanks for the 17 months. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me around. They don't have a counterspell for this. The game's probably over. That's a counterspell. So I was kind of thinking this deck playing Ghost Quarter was greedy. And then I played the deck some more, and I've just come to the conclusion that this is an incredibly messed up card. And playing Ghost Quarter is perfectly fine. If you think this deck's incapable of playing Ghost Quarter, I'd recommend playing it more. This card changes everything about mana bases. Just actual everything. Hey, thanks, Casminium. Good chance we're dead here if we don't draw another good spell off of this Bring to Light. I think I probably should have sequenced this out to take the Shadow plus the click last turn. Alright, that'll play. To gain 2 here. Get to trophy this. We just need to tread water till we hit another Wrenn and Six, right? A Wrenn and Six or Niv-Mizzet. Thanks, Hacksaw. We had to discard Tolsimir earlier, so Tolsimir's not in our deck, unfortunately. Thanks, Goulash. This is still that same game where we didn't play a second land till turn 4. I think the only person who punted... I don't think... No, the Teferi mistake was... I think minusing with Teferi was correct, but I should have minused on the Astrolabe. So if I would have minused on the Astrolabe, leaving my Coatl to trade with their Coatl, we'd be further ahead. We'd be... Sorry, ahead instead of behind, not further ahead. We're currently behind. We wouldn't be hoping to catch up. No, I definitely shouldn't have bounced their Coatl. Giving them another draw would have been really bad. I didn't see the line to bounce my own Astrolabe though. I wanted a second draw because my hand wasn't good. Well, yeah, my opponent's also playing a bad deck. Like bad deck mirror matches are some of the best Modern you can get. No, you're fine. Thank you for picking up some popcorn, by the way. On Discord or email me your purchase confirmation. Just include your order number in it. You can block out your address or whatever else is on the receipt and let me know what you'd like to bump or add with it. I appreciate the support. Hey, Zace, thanks for the 7 months. I appreciate it. Welcome back. Gross. One, bring to light for Supreme Verdict, please. Yeah, Brawl goes live with Rotation Hacksaw. Hey, look, I got rewarded for not playing my land out. Oh, that's sad. Can't K command. I get a redraw, though. Spin them tires, baby. Spin them tires. Oh, we're halfway there. Oh, living on a prayer. Take my hand. We'll make it, I swear. Do-do. Be-do-do-do-do. Incredibly low variance game, chat. Incredibly low variance game. And again, like, pour one out for this deck list because, like, I fumbled a lot of early plays this game. Yeah, we also have yet to draw a Niv, right? Just like a Niv at any point probably buries them in the ground. I'm gonna hold on to this because there's another Izzet Charm in my deck that I can loot with later. Yeah, this is still the game where I didn't play a second land till turn 4. Where we, like, kept a bunch of birds and they all died. Alright, need a hit. It's unfortunate. I think we'd have almost certainly won this game if I'd played a bit better. All right, we took a little info on the way out the door. Unmoored Ego can only target opponents. All right, didn't matter what we drew. That's honestly a really bad cryptic command on their part. Because, like, if this was a removal spell for Goyf, we, like, stay in the game, right? Four-color control variations, like what the opponent's playing, have popped up on the 5-0 list. So if you look at the MTGO deck list dumps, you should find them there. Alright, so how do we want to board here? Kaya seems bad. Ashiok stops their search card and it exiles their graveyard, which is sweet. Wrenn and Six kills a lot of their stuff. I feel like I want to cut at least a couple of Helix here. Having some life gain seems good, but like they have like Scoozes and Goyfs that get out of range of it. And it doesn't really generate value. Yeah, cutting a bird's probably fine. I like that. That seems fine. Yesterday was glorious. I refused my wife's demand to put your phone down, you should sleep or you'll be a zombie tomorrow. And while it was almost 1 a.m., I was watching the games against Martin Uzzet. I appreciate you being here, Troll. Good to have you. Our bird lived, chat. Our bird lived. It's so exciting. We played against a bunch of Hall of Famers and MPL members yesterday. It was a stack. They're always stacked tournaments, right? This game is basically over. I don't know about that. Yeah, 2-mana Planeswalkers that plus to draw a card are messed up. Who'da thunk? 2-mana Planeswalkers that plus to draw a card are good. Strange. Yeah, not only does it draw, but sometimes it's a removal spell too. Yep, I agree. No, I don't think you can play Noble instead of Bird. You need the 5-color fixing from Bird. Should have played a basic so Coatl could have Death Touch. If I'm being completely honest, I thought I had a basic in my deck that this could get. And I wanted to draw a land with this. I don't know. This is only a 1/2, so like either of these taking a damage is like not a big deal. Just had my first child a week ago today and get to spend the next 4 weeks bonding and watching Magic. I don't know how I could possibly go back to Arc. It's tough. Again, congrats and thanks for the half a year. DK. Jimmy, thanks for the brand new Prime support. I appreciate that. Welcome. Thanks for keeping me around. Gosh, look how unlucky we are. We have to discard 2 cards, chat. Can you believe how incredibly unlucky we are? Hot takes on Drown in the Lock in Modern. And I don't think it's only in Mill, Nivik. I think only in Mill is a dramatic mischaracterization of Drown in the Lock. I think Drown in the Lock will just be a modern staple in most blue-black decks. It is effectively a split counterspell removal spell. With the volume of fetch lands people play in this format, that card is very, very good. Treaties. Does their deck play Wrenn and Six as well? I feel like it must, right? Hey, thanks for the 9 months, Talion. I appreciate it. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me around. I think Emery fits into Urza. I think I'm not qualified to answer that question. Okie doke. Whale. Well, if I hadn't punted game 1, we wouldn't be going to a game 3, but I did mess up game 1 in a variety of ways, so now... But now we're going to take a game of the 3rd here. I actually just had someone, is it in the deck queue already? Yeah, there's an Emery Ascendancy deck in the deck queue already. Should we have more ways to deal with Wrenn and less birds? Maybe. I don't know. We haven't seen a Wrenn out of them yet, right? I guess we should just assume they have it. There's no fear in this dojo, chat. None. Yeah. Yeah, buddy. Yeah, buddy. I think I lead on Astrolabe here. I don't think I just play the bird out into this mountain. Yeah, maybe Brad's right and I should have cut more of the birds. I believe that. They're going to play Wrenn and Six here and I'm going to feel like a big dumb. I guess if they Wrenn and Six, I'm trophying it. Just a goyf, sure. He's just a goyf. He's a Tarmogoyf. Do 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 do. I think the Bant Soul Herder deck is slow and mopey. But I also think this deck is kind of slow and mopey, and this deck seems great too, so, you know. That was the I'm just a Bill jingle. Confirm. I'm just a Bill jingle confirmed. Yeah, the new utility lands in Ellendrain are absurd. I am super excited about them. They're phenomenal. Yeah, I agree, Zanman. I think this deck's a strong favorite in a lot of these types of matchups like we're playing right now. I think I'm gonna be a little conservative here and just trophy this Goyf rather than try and Ice-Fang block it. I feel like if I flash an Ice-Fang and they kill it, I'm gonna take like 4 here, and then like my health total's getting a little bit dangerously low. Three-color mana base are going to be tough. I would be very surprised if mid-range decks are playable in the new format. I think there's a good chance the Field of the Dead makes mid-range unplayable still. So, I want to fetch in response to their fetch here because Shadow of Doubt is symmetrical. So if they want to shadow my fetch, they shadow their own fetch as well. Small sequencing tip there. We got shadowed in the other game, so we know they're playing it. I didn't realize... They have teachings in their deck. So like they get teachings for this because it has flash. Alright, cryptic me daddy. Yeah, this deck's good at, like, grinding things out like Jund, but I think there's a real chance that we just have a bad matchup against these decks with counterspells in them. Never forget that no matter how big, dumb, and greedy your deck is, there's someone out there who has a deck that's bigger, dumber, and greedier than yours is. He says, as his opponent plays Karanos, God of Storms. Do I want to shock myself to play this? I think I do. Sounds good, Mikey. I have Helix and Tolsimir in hand to gain life here, so... Show me a land. Perfect. So land means they draw an extra card instead of getting to kill my Ice-Fang. Yep. All right, so let's start with this and see where we go. And then... So remember, this can't currently fetch anything. I think I'm going to hit their Ashiok here. They are dead in Niv to 2, but I think I want to hit the Ashiok. Because, like, if they hit like a bolt, for instance, the bolt means that Karanos kills Niv. So I feel like they have too many ways to potentially kill my thing here. And then actually, I think I just let Mana Leak happen. I think I saved my Veto for something more important. Yeah, I agree, Pelly. I feel like we're far enough ahead here that I can be a little conservative, is exactly right. The answer to Karanos is killing them. My opponent conceded. All right, so I'm enjoying this deck, so even though it's running long, we're going to go ahead and finish it out. But I have an ad quota that I have to meet for F2K, so I need to run a quick ad break. Don't go anywhere. We're going to play 2 more matches with this, and then we've got a Modern League with Black-White Stoneblade after it. Might just have a little bit longer stream today than normal. Start seeing it a little bit late. Thanks for hanging out, folks. I'll be back. How are my wonderful subs and people who are ad blocking this morning? Welcome, welcome. So, for people who haven't been on since I joined F2K last week, so I split with Tempo Storm over an ad requirement. The ad requirement with F2K is much, much lower. So, F2K requires me to do 2 minutes of ads per hour, which means I can do a 3-minute ad break every 90 minutes or so. So my plan for my regulars is that we're going to have a little bit of downtime here because I don't want people who aren't subscribed to miss content because of the ads. So we're going to be doing a 3-minute break every 90 minutes or so, which I think is an acceptable amount. We'll probably still lose some people who that annoys. You are a sub, JH. Yeah, so subs will not see ads. So I just want to make sure that it doesn't disrupt the actual content. Speaking of breaks, let's stand up, stretch my legs. Yes, yesterday's performance is on YouTube and all the downtime is cut out. So you can, what's it called? You can see it was like a little over 2 hours worth of gameplay for 8 rounds. Can we do some card tricks? I don't know. I don't know about actual. I don't know if I do actual Magic. What was the prize for winning yesterday's tournament? 5,000 United States dollars. Thanks, Jake man. Is Kessa's not findable with Niv? It is, however, findable with Bring to Light. Can you explain why teams have ad requirements? It is Twitch ads. So the different esports organizations have contracts with Twitch. And I don't know what all the details go into those contracts, but from my understanding, almost all of those team contracts dictate that those team streamers require X amount of minutes per hour, and different teams have different requirements. So some teams like Tempo Storm seem like they get a worse deal on 6 minutes, and then F2K has 2 minutes. So, Guy Fieri, thanks for the 8 months. I appreciate the 2/3 of a year. Welcome back. I did win the tournament yesterday. We did. Yeah, it's been a good time. Lightning Helix is just an exceptionally good card right now, which is great. I love that Twitch gave me the ability to mod people with 2 clicks again. It was really annoying having to type. We're in the Hall of Fame now. And unfortunately, beating a Hall of Famer does not automatically put you into the Hall of Fame. Rats. You do have power, Phoenix. I mean, the Hall of Fame as it sits right now is a very metrics-driven program, right? So, like, Jerry didn't make the cut largely for the same reasons why people like Chris Bakula don't make the cut. Because there's that threshold, I believe it's 5 Pro Tour top 8s. A lot of people in the professional community will never vote for someone into the Pro Tour Hall of Fame unless they have 5 Mythic Championship, PT, whatever you want to call it, top 8s. How big is the Transformer / Power do you think the kids get? Listen, my kids have enough crap, okay? In fact, my wife and I were just talking about how we need to get rid of a bunch of their old toys they don't play with anymore before the holiday season rolls through again this year. Hey, Sergeant, thanks for the 2 months. I appreciate that. Welcome. Thanks for keeping me around. Yeah, the new lands are going to go into basically everything. They're great. A negative. Thanks for the 12 months of support. Let's get you a sword to go with that shield. One of the problems. So, for people that aren't familiar with me, I live in the Midwest. Like I say cornfield time because there's literally a cornfield behind my house. Like property's really cheap here. So like my house that we live in right now is like 3,000 square feet. And the bigger your house is, the more place there is for crap to accumulate. Is the one thing you learn very quickly. This house is a lot of places for crap to accumulate. I don't know. Font of Agonies is the one where it does a thing when you gain life, or when you lose life, or pay life, or whatever. Went from a loft in LA to a 4K square foot house in the Midwest and accumulated crap. It really is. It really is. Alright, 1 Wrenn and 6, please. Any removal spell will do, but Wrenn and 6 would be preferred. Would also take Bring to Light or Niv-Mizzet. It's like removal spell adjacent. Unfortunately, it doesn't kill this. Well. What are we naming, Twitch chat? What are we naming? Is it Tarmogoyf? I think it might just be Tarmogoyf. I feel like they have a hard time killing me without Tarmogoyf. Do I care about Liliana? I think it's just Goyf. Puppy! Got one out of the hand. Got one out of the hand. Straight green-black rock. I like it. So their win conditions left after I take these are Bob, Scooge, Tracker. Basically, they have 1 Kalitas as well. And some treetop villages. Yeah, true. Truth. So we're just kind of just waiting on one of our 7 Niv-Mizzets at this point. That's what we're looking for. I will likely be off by then, Slinker. Have a good one. My flying snake has been pushed off a cliff unceremoniously. Can we win a copy of Magic Arena? I'm very generous. I'll give you a copy of Arena for free. But if you want to win some non-free-to-play games, be sure to check out the link to the giveaway on my Twitter. You just have to retweet and then respond to the tweet with some games you'd like to win. This is a bold strategy, Cotton. Niv-Mizzet, please. Kaya's Guile, you say? I think I want to give him a turn with everything, huh? I think I'm going to pass. Do we like to pass? I think we're going to pass. I have 4 Helix in my deck. Yeah, they're about to flip 3 lands, right? All right, Bob, whose team are you playing for here? Let's find out together. Trips Liliana, please. I guess Kalitas could potentially gain them life back, so I'd prefer not that one. There's a 3. Hit me, baby, one more time. Do tireless tracker, puppy. All right, Bobby, let's go. Let's go, Kalitas. Can I get a Kalitas, puppy? Woohoo! Woohoo! Are they about to Maelstrom Pulse their own bobs? I think they're about to Maelstrom Pulse their bobs, chat. Are they about to Maelstrom Pulse their bobs? Feels like they're pretty priced in to Maelstrom Pulsing their bobs. Have I mentioned the fact that Dark Confidant is not a playable Magic card and you should cut it from your deck list? Have I mentioned that if you want a decent green-black rock list, you can find one at jeffhoagland.com, click Modern Decks, click Proven, and there are 0 Dark Confidant in it. Goodbye, friends. Do I hold on to this Guile? Nah, I probably should just play it and hit them for 1, right? I was like trying to figure out where the option to Guile was, and I forgot my 4th monitor goes off the bottom of my screen. Thanks for the 18 months. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me around. All right, so I'm holding on to Izzet Charm here because it's a counterspell. Although maybe I should hold the land so I can loot with it in case they play something I can't counter. We get like a Replicate here or something. I'd like to dedicate this game win to Robert Confidant. Let's pour one out for my boy. We don't have a ton of cards for matchups like this in the sideboard just because this style of matchup tends to be pretty reasonable for the deck that we're playing. So like, we're going to cut the main deck Unmoored Ego and this Kaya, and we're going to bring in a Kaya's Guile and a Kess. Seems fine. Like, Bob was unplayable before they printed Wrenn and Six. In a post-Wrenn and Six world, he's really unplayable. Why would I want Ashiok? Modern has always been a format about aggression and brutal efficiency. And while Bob is pretty efficient at what he does, he is not an aggressive card. He is not a card that's good against aggressive decks. Sorry. Was that a good draw, chat? Was that a good draw? What do we think? Astrolabe kind of ties the room together, huh? What do I think of this list? I think it's wonderful. I think I'm a believer. Is this the first time in the history of Magic a Wrenn and Six has ever killed a Tarmogoyf? I think there's a chance this is the first time in the history of Magic Wrenn and Six has ever killed a Tarmogoyf. Yeah, you just pick games on their store, Tom. So, Izzet Charm plus Wrenn and Six kills this Goyf, right? Or K-Command plus Wrenn and Six kills this Goyf? They definitely should have just had their treetop village kill my Wrenn and Six. So this will go to the graveyard, and this will be a 2-3 that's alive, and then the last point of damage here will kill it. I think that was a pretty big mistake on my opponent's part. They should have just, like, fired up their treetop village and killed my planeswalker. I think the green utility land's probably the worst of them all, but I also think they're all pretty good, so, like, being the worst of a good cycle is fine. Would I say Astrolabe is a design mistake? Quite possibly. I think in a world where getting snow mana is trivial thanks to fetch lands, it's probably a design mistake. No. These Astrolabe decks are like grindy mid-range decks. You don't want a random deal 5. So this will get plains, this will get forest, this will get mountain. Re-upping my sub during break at college. I am up for more Dirtling BTL next. Thanks for the 14 months of music, Griffin. Welcome back. ZYX Wertha, thank you for the 3rd of the year. I appreciate it. Where'd the list from yesterday come from? So we've played Aristocrats for a long time on this stream. It's a deck list that we've tuned and optimized over the course of the last probably 6 months or more. The list I was playing in regular standard that hasn't rotated yet, only lost 3 cards with rotation. So I just replaced those cards. The post-spell pierce land of shame. We've all been there, chat. Don't act like you haven't played the post-spell pierce land of shame, because I know you have. I would like 1 monster, please. Wow. Only drew 4 cards? Can you guys believe how unlucky we are? Man, this Thoughtseize card seems really bad. Why would you play a card that you like tap a mana and then you concede? That's weird. It's really weird. I don't get it. I'll take it, but I don't get it. All right. Well, we're 4-0, which means that we can't 3-2. So that's unfortunate. Only 4 cards. Can we file for comp because Niv is clearly bugged? I agree. Time for the Tron button. This deck probably has a very bad Tron matchup if I had to guess. Would you say this is a good Bring to Light deck? I think this, to clear a bar that is literally on the floor, this is the best Bring to Light deck I've played in Modern. This hand doesn't have an Astrolabe, so the mana's kind of awkward. We mulligan this. This hand has an Astrolabe, so the mana's perfect. Keep. Unsubbed, I'm only here for 3-2s and quarterfinals losses, and now you've ruined both of those in the last 2 days. I apologize. We'll try to get back to our regularly scheduled mediocre Magic performances soon. I don't think there's a quote dashboard for MTG Bot. That'd be a fun idea, though. All right, Kaya's Guile's a good one to grab here if they're playing Burn. Yeah, I won the Twitch Rivals tournament yesterday, Maris. Oh. All right. So, Kaya's Guile is good, but not for the reason we thought it was good. So Kaya's Guile exiles graveyards for reference. So for people who aren't familiar with my Magic background, because there's probably a lot of people who aren't, because it's been a while since I played a lot of competitive Magic. When I was traveling to play in a lot of SCG tournaments, week 1 standard tournaments were always some of my best finishes. I am better than your average bear at putting together deck lists for formats that have rotated or are fresh and changing. So, generally speaking, my top finishes are generally in newer formats. Am I walking? I'm not walking, but I'm currently standing. So I have a standing desk. So I split my time while I stream about 50-50 sitting standing. Would you attribute that more to deck selection or tuning or ability to adapt to... I think it's the latter more than anything, Bulgarian. I think I also put in the work a lot of the time to, like, figure out a reasonable deck early. But I think I'm better than a lot of players at adapting to opposing play patterns on the fly, which I think is in part due to the fact of the wide range of decks that I tend to play too. But, like, once players, like, once players who grind a lot and memorize a lot of the common play patterns, they catch back up very quickly. But early in formats, I definitely feel like I have a leg up a lot of the time. That I lose as the formats mature. That Thopter Spy Network deck might be the worst deck I've ever top eighted a tournament with. It was really bad. Yeah, I think the opponent's playing blue-red as foretold. Blue-red Living End. They've now fetched down to 9. Weird, they might just be playing a more traditional Living End deck. Either way, our Miser main deck Kaya's Guile is going to be excellent here. I think I just gain 4 life, exile all cards in the graveyard. Exile all cards from opponent's graveyard, you gain 4 life. Yeah, I'm almost back to being human today. Man, remember when we said Force of Negation was a really good design because it couldn't be used to help your combo deck combo people? Man, modern. Peak modern, if I do say so myself. It is. It's definitely peak modern. Firm agree that it's peak modern. Yeah, Force of Negation seems sweet in the opponent's deck for sure. I don't think... Yeah, we can try Sultai. Yeah, we can try Sultai, Nivik. I'm not sure if the mana is going to work, but we should definitely try it. I will add it to the list. I appreciate the support. Beaks, thanks for the 14 months. I wish they would resync the messages. I do too. I agree. Let's leave 1 Helix in. Does she? Oh, she counterspells if no mana was cast, right? Yeah, she does. Perfect. Look at that. I have seen the Sultai Vengevine list. It's really sweet. Seems excellent. We've got a lot of good tools for this matchup. We've got Ashiok and another Guile. We've got the Lavinia. We've got Unmoored Ego to take their living ends away. So, like, getting forced there feels bad, but, like, I don't think we're just dead in this matchup overall. We've not had anyone submit that one yet, Dual Josh. Almost into my terrible 2s at 23 months. Thanks for keeping me around, G-Goat. As some general notes for the Modern fans, we're going to keep doing 2 Modern decks every day this week. Then I'm going to be off on Monday. I'm taking Monday off next week. So this weekend I'm going to be off Saturday, Sunday, Monday. And then Tuesday, Wednesday next week, I'm planning to do all Modern. And then Thursday through Saturday will be all New Standard. And as always, you can find my schedule with approximately what formats I'll be playing on which days and what times on my website. We're down a game in match 5, Burgle. We got Force of Negated by the combo deck, and they killed us because they comboed us on our turn. Yeah, we are 4-0, Burgle. So I would just like the record to reflect that this deck is definitely better than Devoted Druid. I think I mulligan this, right? Am I going to play this deck in more leagues? If you're new to the stream, pretty much all of the decks that I play on this channel are viewer-submitted deck lists. And this is definitely a deck that I would be willing to play again. But as for what I'm going to be playing and when, pretty much always dictated by the folks that support my content. Hand has Ego and Kaya's Guile. Definitely a good keep. Yes, if we have a best of 3 direct challenge option for Historic, I plan to start doing 1 day a week Historic sub battle days in probably in October. So that way we can take some historic submissions. I think there'll be good things to play in that format. But we have to wait and see if we're gonna have the option to do direct challenge. Because I don't want to play a best of one queue. I really don't like best of one Magic. It's not my cup of tea. Well, it's good to have you here, Enya. Yes, yeah, so Ego isn't they lose the game. Ego is just, we're not going to get combo killed anymore. We still have to put together the ability to beat their draft leavings. No, I'm going to Ego their living ends. Not close. So if you read the details on the historic announcement, immediately at rotation, there will not be best of 3 for historic. In the end of November or December, they will be introducing a historic ranked queue. As always, I'd encourage you, as with all things in life, I'd encourage you to seek out your own correct information direct from the source, rather than just listening to what I parrot as a talking head on TV. Hey, Blake, thanks for the 13 months. I appreciate it. We've been negated. Peak Modern is seeing a sweet card like this get printed and go, this is sweet for fair decks, and then the card ultimately getting used in the most unfair ways possible. That, in my opinion, is peak Modern. Thanks, Alkalal. I appreciate it. Looking forward to... We should get a full spoiler tomorrow or Friday. And we'll do some... We'll get some deck building going. I think they're just going to put 2 creatures into play here. I'd assume. Yep. And remember, if you're thinking about adding decks with new sweet cards to the queue, I'm running a deal with the popcorn that my son is selling. So if you would like to add a deck and also get a treat with it, you can pick something up at that URL using his code. I think I'm just supposed to Kaya's Guile here. Just like Edict you exile your graveyard. Maybe it's just Edict you gain 4, actually. Yeah, because I have Kaya. I think Edict you gain 4 is what I want to do. Getting a blocker is gain 6. Okay, yeah, that's fair. So Edict you make a blocker. Thank you for pointing that out. Yes, yeah, my son's in kindergarten, and Cub Scout starts at kindergarten, so they do, like, camping and arts and crafts and stuff like that. So the popcorn fundraiser is how they fund their Cub Pack for the year. You could go Wrenn and Six into Guile 2. No, I already played a land. This is their turn 4. So if I hadn't played a land, it was turn 5, I could go Wrenn and Six into Guile. But unfortunately, my name is Jeff Hoogland and not Alex Bertoncini, so I can't play 2 lands this turn. All right, so I just like jam Niv-Mizzet now. I think we just jam Niv-Mizzet now, right? Well, none of those are particularly useful, but hopefully they draw us towards cards that are useful. The right private school. Yeah, we're fortunate that the public schools in the area that we're in are pretty reasonable. It was part of the reason we moved in the spring, actually, was to, or in the winter, was to get into a school district that we liked. We could get end-step Violent Outburst here. Can we ban this card yet? This card should not be Modern Legal. Simian Spirit Guide should not be Modern Legal. Hot take. Are we dead? 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. So if they cycle 3 cards, we're dead. What just happened is what happens when you try and play a sweet deck in Modern. You get dumpstered by a combo deck. Enjoy your stay. My deck trying to cast 5 mana spells got beat by a linear unfair deck. But I really feel like this league's like a good example of like, you should take all results with a grain of salt, right? Like, we hit a bunch of good matchups against other fair decks, and our deck's really good at dumpstering other fair decks, right? And this deck's probably fine against things like Burn and things of that nature, but it's really not good against anyone doing anything linear in Modern that Lightning Helix isn't good against. I feel like that's basically the answer. It's like, if Lightning Helix isn't good against... Did they draw Violent Outburst? They drew Violent Outburst for lethal. What a great joke. Yeah. So, yeah, I think there's a variety of decks that... What's the best way to phrase this? My takeaway on this deck is, 1, I would play it again, because it's got some fun play patterns in it. But 2, I think if your opponent is playing a linear or aggressive deck in Modern that Lightning Helix is not good against, this deck probably has a rancid matchup against it. And I'm not saying they're unwinnable or you can never beat it, because obviously Magic's a game with an incredible amount of variance, but this deck is so slow and clunky a lot of the time that if this card isn't a catch-up mechanic for us in a fast matchup, we basically just don't have the tools to be competitive there for the most part. Matchups like Tron, matchups like Red-Green Valakut, Fringe Graveyard decks like what our opponent was just playing, things like Dredge, and obviously you're going to have games against those decks that you still win, but I would expect those are the matchups that are going to be incredibly difficult on average for this archetype. I think Wrenn and Six is pretty important for this deck. Wrenn and Six is a big part of what makes the mana base work in this deck, because Wrenn and Six just drawing you extra fetches allows you to hit your colors consistently. We are very ready for a new standard here as well. Fall Not Dead, thanks for the 2 months. I appreciate that. Welcome, welcome. All right, we're going to roll on into the next Modern deck here. Got some Black-White Stoneblade. We're going to be a little bit late getting to Standard today because this deck ran long. So folks that are waiting for Standard, probably going to be about 10, 30, or 11 before we get there.